The vacant Christies Sports Bar on Midway Drive is creating an eyesore for the community, and they want something done about it.
Plus, a major fire not far from Mission Bay High School. What we're learning tonight.
What happened to hundreds of animals transported from San Diego Humane Society to Arizona? Tonight, we have a disturbing update. More on that and who's to blame.
Thank you, San Diego. How Blissful Seeds went from a startup in a garage to a Poway storefront.
And the interactive trip inside the world of carnivorous plants. And it's right here in San Diego. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. After our coverage of a vacant McDonald's restaurant in Ramona, many of you reached out to us about eyesores in your community. Good evening, I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. So, we went to work reporting on an abandoned Jack in the Box in La Jolla, as well as a shuttered islands in Kearney Mesa. And tonight, CBS 8's Brian White is working for you in the Midway district, where an old sports bar has become a magnet for illegal activity.
Yeah, this blighted building here on Midway Drive used to be Christies MVP Sports Bar. And over the past 6 years, it's become a haven for crime, graffiti, and homeless encampments.
It's almost turned into like almost a homeless shelter that's not being regulated.
Graffiti, trash, and debris. An unsightly mess. Neighbors around here are fed up.
It's definitely stressful. I made a number of complaints.
Jay Culbertson has lived next door for 3 years. He's constantly reporting homeless encampments. He says at the height of COVID, there were 20 people camped out.
Behaving in a destructive manner, breaking into the structure, having lots of late night fun, and disrupting my rest before me and my neighbors could go to work the next day.
Christies Sports Bar closed its doors for good in 2017, and since then there haven't been any new tenants here except for squatters.
The number of people were living underneath that awning there.
With all the homeless folks congregating here, the guitar shop next door has trouble clearing out their parking lot in the morning. I talked to one of the employees. He didn't want to go on camera.
I hope it turns into something nice. I mean, that way it's not just an eyesore on the corner of the street, you know.
The San Diego County Assessor's Office told me the property is owned by Stieglitz FLM Enterprises Partnership with an address based in Beverly Hills. I found a number of complaints on record dating back to 2018 regarding trash and graffiti. I called the number off this torn up sign for Urban California Real Estate Services asking what's being done to clean up this eyesore. No response yet.
It's unfortunate because Midway has some problems, and this doesn't encourage the neighborhood to move forward. It encourages it to go back the other way.
Jay and his neighbors just want to see some progress made here. They're just tired of dealing with it.
It'd be nice to see a tenant in here occupying it, making use of the property, and securing it.
I'm going to follow this story. Working for you in the Midway District, Brian White, CBS 8.
All right, Brian, thanks. And here at CBS 8, we do want to help solve problems affecting you or your community. If you'd like us to look into something, shoot us an email, workingforyou@cbs8.com.
San Diego firefighters are still at Campland on the Bay after fire engulfed a building there.
This all is happening at Campland off Pacific Beach Drive in PB. People across San Diego reported seeing dark plumes of smoke coming from that area around 2 p.m.
CBS 8's Jesse Began is there now, where officials say their biggest worry right now is the environmental impact of this fire. Jesse.
Carla, Marcella, over the past hour, firefighters have finished mopping up any hot spots that were left behind in the building. You can see there's not a lot of smoke coming from it at this point. However, one engine is still here, kind of keeping watch over the situation just in case. You never know. In the meantime, though, the county hazmat team, the Coast Guard, and some others have shown up to start checking the area and also testing for any contamination.
It was scary, and people were running to it. I'm like, go away! Yeah, go away!
Watching a fire engulfing a building was not part of Alan Basivi's vacation plans.
You heard it popping at the beginning. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But it's what he saw as flames burned through this storage facility at Campland on the Bay.
Once it started, I'd say within 3 to 4 minutes, that wind picked up, and it was up in flame. 20, 25 feet high flames. I mean, you can see it on the trees how high it made.
The flames sparked around 2 this afternoon, with firefighters telling us calls came in from people across the city watching the smoke plume rise.
Inside they stored golf carts, batteries, paints, some maintenance materials.
San Diego Fire Department Deputy Chief Brian Rains says they knocked the fire down quickly, but are not worried about the environmental consequences.
Our biggest concern now is the environmental impact of the runoff of some of the materials that are flowing into the bay. General fire runoff, the things that were burned. In addition, we have some paint supplies and maintenance type materials.
All of those things inside are now charred and blackened. The deputy chief says it's a total loss of about $1.5 million, including some cars and damaged boat trailers. That's something Alan and his family feel for.
This is devastating. I mean, these are business owners, obviously. Never want this to happen, and our heart goes out to them. Now, one person complained of smoke inhalation, but they did not go to the hospital. No one else was hurt as of to this point, according to the fire chief. Also, according to the deputy fire chief on the scene, though, the crews that are here will stay out here for several more hours, they're estimating, as Campland staff also now start their cleanup process. Live at Campland on the Bay tonight, Jesse Pagan, CBS 8.
Thanks, Jesse. Care Court launched today in San Diego. It's a program aimed at getting severely mentally ill people off the streets and into help. You can now drop off petitions at courthouses across the county to get the process started. The program is reserved for people with illnesses like schizophrenia. If they meet the threshold, they will go before a judge and then be placed in a care program, which includes treatment, housing, and medication. The judge overseeing the program says petitions will be reviewed within 72 hours. Hearings are expected to start in a couple of weeks. The San Diego County Water Authority said today that we have enough water to meet the region's needs in 2024. The Water Authority credits efficient water use and the county's supply diversification strategy. The new water year started yesterday. Forecasters are predicting an El Nino this year, which means another rainy winter. Over the last year, we had a tremendous amount of rain, but the county says people still need to conserve.
Democratic strategist LaFonza Butler is expected to be sworn in on Wednesday to fill the seat of Senator Dianne Feinstein. Governor Gavin Newsom named his choice over the weekend. The governor felt giving the appointment to someone already in the Senate race would give them an unfair advantage in next year's election. Once Butler is sworn into office, she will make history as California's first openly gay U.S. senator and the first gay black woman to serve in Congress.
It's bold and it's quite surprising that he didn't pick an elected official and nobody had her on their short list. But she goes way back with him and way back with the members of the governor's inner circle. And he knows her well. And I think he wanted somebody that he was close to and can count on. And he's made a fine choice.
Critics of Butler say she has never held a political office and doesn't currently live in California. The governor's office says Butler moved to the D.C. area to start a political organization called Emily's List. It's dedicated to supporting female candidates who favor abortion rights. The office says she still owns a home here in California. Supporters say Butler's experience as a labor leader will give her a unique perspective in the Senate. Cruise season is officially underway. The first cruise of the season left the port of San Diego earlier today. The port is projecting a more than $150 million economic impact this year. That's down from $200 million last year. We're told it's because fewer cruise lines will be visiting San Diego this year. Ships were moved to other parts of the world to help with growing demand.
Still ahead tonight, new information about hundreds of small animals that went missing after being transported from San Diego to Arizona.
Plus, during this Hispanic Heritage Month, the Verify team explains some of the meaning behind terminology in the Hispanic community.
Plenty of sunshine, our forecast for today. Much of the same throughout the week, but the temperatures, that's going to be the big talker. We're talking about Santa Ana winds back in the forecast. All those details are ahead.
And up next, to where you can go for an up-close and interactive experience with carnivorous plants.